We are live and in living color. And we actually had John unfortunately canceled at the last minute. So we are just live, me and James. Anybody watching this who's a reviewer, if you guys want to jump on or accompany, you're more than welcome to join us tonight. We're just going to talk maybe some metal. I think that sounds like a appropriate discussion. We were going to have a music discussion, right?
Yeah.
And my mom, who is a huge musician, she's been actually she taught for 40 years chorus and is an excellent guitarist. Was trying to figure out how to get on, but unfortunately did not. And we literally have 0 people watching right now.
Yeah, whatever.
We have 0 people watching us because it's all like Joe's live stream right now. But I wanted to make this one have a blast, though. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah. So anyway, I was trying to get anybody. Sorry, just got this. What happened? Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk some metal while I'm. So we're talking. So we talked a little bit about. Are you into the newer metal at all?
Yeah, I try to get into the newer stuff. I'm mostly just sticking to a lot of like the older stuff as well, because you still got a lot of older bands come out with new stuff. So, yeah, I still try and kind of meet some or kind of get some new bands kind of getting.
I think I got a person. You know, I listen to a ton of old metal, so that's my thing. I think I got
Van Halen died. Eddie Van Halen died.
Can you even believe that? Can you even believe that? I mean, I knew that he had cancer, so let me put it that way. I knew that he had cancer.
Yeah.
Which I'm really sad about. I mean, honestly.
I'm listening to a lot of Van Halen today.
Yeah, Van Halen. Which one's your Van Halen?
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. So which one's your Van Halen? Are you a Van?
I like the. I said Van Halen or Van Hagar.
Van Hagar. Yeah, that's what I'm going.
I mean, David Lee Roth was definitely a good showman, for sure. I mean, it's like a mixture of both. I mean, like the Eruption, stuff like that. You know, Hot for Teacher, all that when all that stuff came out, it was epic. I listened to Eruption, a lot of the old '80s, like when they first came out, kind of stuff.
5150 Van Halen, the Van Halen self-titled, right? Yeah, Van Halen 2. I mean, there's just so many great albums. I've seen Van Halen. I saw him when David joined this last tour on the last tour that they just kind of went out on. They kind of stopped in the middle because he was having some problems with vocals.
Yeah.
So I went to that show and it was like people didn't like it. There's people that just definitely didn't like it. And then there was, I'm not even pointing my camera right. Sorry, guys. There was people that didn't like it because they were like, hey, he's washed up. But I was there for the nostalgia. I mean, you know how it was in the 80s after when Sammy Hagar joined, and then Eddie was with Steve Vai. There was that whole like going on MT bashing each other. They did it for years. They bashed each other because a lot of the breakup was due to some of the issues with Eddie's drinking.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's sad. I'm very sad that he passed on. You know, he was a good guitar god.
Oh, yeah.
But I do know that was one of the biggest issues that he had was that, you know, there was years of that going on. And then Eddie, what did he become David became like an ambulance driver for a while.
Really?
He did for a bit.
Imagine taking you to the hospital.
Like, didn't you? Yeah, like, so he like became an EMT somewhere, and I can't remember where he was an EMT at, but I remember that was the case. That
You take me to the hospital right now? Am I dreaming?
And while you're doing that, can you sing me some Eat 'em and go? No, some Gigolo. So
Right.
that's my. So I'm still a huge David Lee Roth fan. I
Yeah.
still to this day, I think that was Van Halen. That's who started it.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Sammy Hagar was bad for Van Halen.
No.
They were able to continue as a band as Van Halen because Sammy Hagar's vocals were so solid.
Yeah, I think he brought just a new kind of vibe to the band. So I
He did. Yeah, and it was just different. It was a different band, but it still had the Van Halen. It still had Eddie.
Yeah.
And then, Eddie still played just such good guitar. I mean, he still had the licks when he was playing in that last tour. Still had them.
Yeah.
And I don't know any kid that I played guitar, so any kid growing up that didn't think that Eruption was like the best solo ever made.
Right.
He had the tapping in it. He had the fast guitar riffs going on. I mean, it was just a really good, solid solo.
Oh yeah.
And then you throw in like Hot for Teachers beginning. I just some good stuff coming out of that band. So yeah, so rest in peace, Eddie. It's tough to hear that a guitar. It's like we're getting old, man. That's what happens. Unfortunately, some of our musicians that we grew up with that were our idols are now passing on because we had who died recently before that. Dio, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a big loss.
Yeah, that was a little bit ago. That was like what, a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, it was just a few years ago, but hey, Tyson, we're Flying Beardsman had some internet issues, so we're just chilling, and we said, hey, we took this time, might as well do this time. So yeah, I have so much musical influence, and that was the one thing that my parents are musicians, so I couldn't help but have it. My mom's a chorus teacher. My dad's a composer. He plays more jazzy kind of compositions on pianos and MIDI synthesizers and things like that. But I grew up with it around my life, so I played I play the clarinet first, and then I started playing guitar. And guitar was my baby, still is my baby. I still have a Fender hanging around. I pick up all the time. So
Yes.
that's why you need to get your drums back. We can be we can go be a band.
The problem I would be is learning how to do like using both hands, like the coordination for both hands. I'm left-handed, and so like using obviously the right hand, for other stuff would probably be my kind of bad kind of thing, like something to learn or whatever. And also just with the feet and the hands using them at the same time, kind of rhythm. I think I'd probably be good at either that or guitar. I think the guitar would be a good pickup.
Yeah, you should. I mean, if I can suggest some books and stuff like that that'll get you going. Tab is always out there too. If you just pick up your favorite song, you can just go pick up some tab for it. That was always fun for me. So right. I enjoyed doing that. Yeah, it's kind of.
I think I first picked up on keyboard. Keyboard, I kind of like, we had a big keyboard, like whatever
cool.
Sometimes, and sometimes I would either play just by hearing. Like I would just go by hearing. I didn't know how to read music or whatever, but my mom was kind of just impressed by like how I could just pick up something and just go by the tunes of something and hit the note on the keyboard and kind of just make it that song. So
see, that's whatever. Cool. That's actually really good because a lot of people don't know how to play by ear.
And so I was just like, I would hear, obviously you hear the notes from the radio because whether you hear it like 100 times or whatever, you kind of know what it sounds like. You hear somebody, it's just like kind of just doing that. Even though it was only like one hand kind of just playing, not knowing what to do with the other hand, just kind of just, doing the little taps or whatever on the keyboard. But I did that. I actually did keyboard class in high school, and I picked up a little bit on saxophone, on alto sax.
Guess who just joined us? It's Mandy. What's going on, Mandy?
Hey guys, sorry, I had to like reboot my AirPods and everything, so my bad.
No worries. We're happy to have a guest. We were like 20 minutes ago poor John says, I'm having some internet issues. I'm like, oh, we like literally moved everything to a different time and everything, but the show must go on. So I was like, hey, we were going to actually follow up on how's the cooking anyway. So we, 4 days in, we want to know how's the cooking going.
It's going. I actually just cooked something. Like I made like one of those little cake in a mug type things. So you guys kind of like caught me at the perfect time. So there's my dessert.
That's awesome. So I'm going to say that today, and I'm not even going to take credit for the cookies. So these cookies are I cheated in several ways. I'm going to tell you how I cheated. Cheating number one, I took these from my kids. Cheating number two, they bought them from one of those frozen food section areas.
That's funny.
So, I had some dessert. That was about it. What do you got going on, James?
I got came across a recipe on. Sometimes I'll get like little updates on my phone, or whatever, and sometimes using how the cookies they'll save information or whatever you look up, it'll save to your phone. But these are called blondies, so this is how they are.
Oh, those look good,
yeah.
Man. So actually, they're gluten free. They only have just 5 or 6 ingredients, and then there's no flour in them or nothing like that. It's just baking soda, eggs, peanut butter, chocolate, and that's about it.
That sounds really good, man.
Yeah, they bake in the oven for 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
It comes out like a little cookie. I mean, or like a cookie. You just cut them in squares or whatever.
See, I was telling somebody based off of the gluten-free discussion that we had last week with who was it that had the gluten-free cookies? Was that you, Mandy, who said that you had gluten-free cookies that were horrible out of the freezer section?
They're not horrible. They're
not good.
I would not do it again.
Yeah, so that's what I said. Hey, because Colin, who's my stepson, he has a girlfriend who's vegan, and I don't know how far that goes down the road with eating eating gluten-free stuff. But I was like, hey, if you ever run against gluten-free stuff in the freezer section, don't eat it.
Yeah, it's just not that good.
No,
it's really not.
That's okay though. I mean, so we left you at, we're doing this big cooking thing with Rock and D Beard, and minds want to know, how is that going? How is the process going? I know that you take a little bit of time to kind of figure out where you're going. Have you kind of have a plan? Do you have any hints for us to say, hey, this is a breakfast food or a dinner food or a dessert?
Nope.
Nothing. Oh,
nope.
Can't get it out.
No hints. No hints.
Man.
None.
Nothing. She's going to be silent. She's going to be hey, I'm not going to, but is it fun? Are you in the process though? Is it in the process of, you're at the beginning, or are you starting doing the making?
Oh no, we've already discussed everything, and we have a couple of different ideas. One is a solid, for sure, and who knows, we might have a second one to throw out there too.
Nice.
I like that. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. And did you guys figure out your
what?
Did you figure out your judge situation?
Not yet. And so I kind of just volunteered Ryan for it, but I want to give Rockin' some time to think about who he wants to be a part of it, and for him to reach out to them. So we're just hanging in there for that.
Cool. Let me send you. I know who you were asking for. Hang on one second here. I'm looking for the captain here while we're talking. So we were talking. What is your music? What is your music, Mandy? If
What
you were to
is
say, hey,
my
this is the
just
kind
like
of
my type?
this is my type of music. What is your genre of music that you're normally in on?
I really don't have a specific genre. I kind of like all of it. I mean, there's some things like I won't listen to. But if you was to look at my playlist or get in my car, I mean, it ranges from, um, like the 90s hip hop to what's playing now to classic country. There's jazz on there. There's, you know, hardcore, heavy metal. I have a broad range.
Yeah, I thought, kind of thought that about you because you have that. Yeah, we've talked a little bit where you have, yeah. So that's awesome. That's awesome. What is so Chef, what would you say that I mean, we talk about metal, but is there some stuff that you would listen to outside of metal?
I mean, I was raised as like growing up. I first listened to like classic rock. Classic rock is kind of got what got me towards listening to metal. I listened to metal without even knowing what I was listening to. I guess you could say, because I was more even growing up just like classic rock or like pop or what I'm saying. What it's depending on who I drove in the car with as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's like Madonna or Fleetwood Mac or Heart or something like that. Stuff like that. It's what my mom listened to. Like my mom kind of grew with the times a little bit. She listened to classic rock or Motown or stuff like that. But she also kind of like she was like a New Kids on the Block like girl, like Milli Vanilli, Bobby Brown, all that stuff. So I mean, I listened to like a whole wide range of stuff, like
90s pop and 80s pop. Yeah. And some Motown. I love Motown. I'm a big Motown fan.
When that came out and stuff, I listened to a lot of that. Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys. There you go, right there.
Nice.
Now, is Mandy, are you a Beastie Boys fan?
Yeah, I like the Beastie Boys. Yeah, I mean, really, there's not a lot that I don't listen to,
That's cool.
I mean, you'll catch me, belting out something from like the 50s. It's just the range I have.
That's cool. See, and that's the way I was raised around musicians, so it was really difficult for me to not be like, hey, I'm open to everything. My dad's a composer. My mom's a musician. I grew up, around a lot of music for a lot of years and a lot of people that I've met that are musicians and things. So I'm going to tell you, and I don't know if I've ever told anybody this story. So Eddie Van Halen recently died.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you my David Lee Roth story. So I'm from Tucson, Arizona, which is about 100 miles away from Phoenix. I used to go there during the summers to go be with my dad because my parents were divorced. And my grandparents lived in the Tucson Country Club Estates. And there was a neighbor that had a pool. And my grandparents didn't have a pool, but these neighbors allowed us. And he was a record producer. So I would go over there throughout my life. I must have been over that pool like 200 or 300 times. So one time me and my cousin from out of town was coming in to visit from the East Coast. So we came over and we're like, hey, we want to go swimming. So we asked my grandma and she, made sure it was okay. So we go over and there's this guy and a girl at the pool. And we're just like, okay, cool. Can we swim? And they're like, yeah, come swim with us. So we hung out and I think I was 9 or 10 at the time. So really young, very young. So I'm 9 or 10 and my cousin goes, do you know who I think that is? And I'm like, no idea. He says, I think that's David Lee Roth. And I'm like, I don't even know who that guy is, right? At this point, my parents' music was like the Beatles. I didn't have any rock going on. It was later in life when I got like 4 more years I was into rock.
Yeah.
Or heavy metal rock, at least Van Halen, right? So I'm like, we hang out with this guy all day long. all day long. I mean, we played pool in their pool house. We went swimming again. We played, and this guy was just totally cool. Him and this girl were just like totally chill. Years later, I put it all together. He really was David Lee Roth. We met David Lee Roth. We're swimming and playing pool with David Lee Roth at a pool house in Tucson.
Nice.
Like when I'm 9 or 10.
Nice.
No idea who the guy was. I was just like, this guy's just cool. You know, he was kid friendly. He was a nice guy. And yeah, and it made total sense years later. That was David Lee Roth. And he was at a record producer's house in Tucson. Why would it, like, I'm 9 or 10. I have no idea.
You know, he was kid friendly. He was a nice
The
guy.
craziness.
Yeah.
Somebody has the YouTube on. Did you guys? No, it's gone. Okay. Did you hear that echo? Am I frozen?
Yeah.
I think you're just hearing stuff.
I heard it.
That's what I heard.
You're both hearing stuff.
We both heard stuff. It's like, you know who it is? It's Mandy. She's like, yeah, I want to listen to the comments too. So yeah. So we have who do we have? We got like several people in house. BGG Red reviews, beard reviews. They're very cool.
Yeah.
We got this person. We got this person like 10th something BC something. I don't know who that person is.
Me either. I think they're weird.
I think they are weird, but they do have
stuff.
a really good leather scent. That's my thing this week is the leather scent.
Yeah.
Have you tried them? Have you tried that one, James? If you are into leather, you will like this leather scent. I was trying to be like, so I was telling my sister this story. I said, hey, I want to be more like, hey, I want to throw my more, I'm better for people, kind of limit my companies down. And I still probably do some of that. But I realize I really do like the scents. I really do like the company sense. I realize that, yeah, being a better person, I want to promote that piece. But I also realize that I really enjoy the different scents from companies. You know, I kind of get giddy about it almost. I think that's what makes us beardos, I guess. You know, I must have texted Amanda at least 3 or 4 times saying, this is an amazing scent.
Right.
This is the best scent ever. This is like intoxicating.
I was like, which one?
Yeah. They're all that way, but this one is the one I'm trying this week. And then I have a good large box or thing sitting waiting to be unboxed, so I have to get that done. So who was your musical influences? So you had Motown, you had your mom's listening. Mandy, who was yours? Did you have like your grandma going on? And what made you give to your musical influences growing up? Was it your grandma, your mom?
It was more my mom. Really.
Cool. What does she listen to? She's kind of a wide range gal too.
Well, yes and no. Like, she grew up in the 50s and all of that. So, you know, she listened to all of that. She likes the classic country. So that's really kind of, she will sometimes listen to like some of the newer stuff. Like, she really likes Imagine Dragons. So, so kind of, sort of. She's got a wide range, but it sticks to certain things.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I think that's cool. Music is what do you think about music? When you think of music, what's the thoughts that come out? Is this like, hey, this is how I express myself is through my music, or
something like that. Some could be like a little towards like memories, as something you grew up as a kid, or a memory. If something brings up like a little something about the music that's coming out, or the words that come out of it. So
I think that's a big thing, isn't it? And Mandy, what's your feeling on it?
Well, music is an expression. It's a way to express really anything going on in your life. There's a song for everything,
Truth. I think
so that's kind of what I use it. You can tell like what my mood is depending on what's playing.
Yeah, I totally get that. Now, do you guys do any? I think I've talked to Chef, and he said he's wanting to learn drums or guitar. Do you play any instruments, Mandy?
I played the piano for a long time, and I'm actually learning to play the guitar. So,
oh, very nice. What kind of guitar do you have?
I should say I'm going to. I don't know. My mom got it for me. She picked it up out of a hawk shop. It's beautiful. It's black. It's acoustic, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But off the top of my head, I don't know what brand it is. But I mean, it's beautiful. Absolutely awesome. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. I love the guitar. As I tell people, that's my baby. I've been playing a long time, since I was like 14. So 33 years. And I absolutely, that's my thing. That's how I express myself, especially like some moments where you're playing the blues. Blues always really sets me into when I'm playing the blues, I'm just feeling it. You just feel it in the music, and you're just playing riffs and jamming. And I enjoy that. I mean, I still play a lot of the 80s rock stuff. I still have a lot of AC/DC in my blood. But as I think about what I compose with, it's more of the blues riffs and more jazzy type of stuff.
Right.
But I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. I think that's the piece that made me, because when you play the clarinet, you're playing the clarinet. I feel like I connect with the guitar.
Charlie's actually learning to play the clarinet this year.
He's
not a fan of it. Yeah, he's not a fan of it.
I played for 7 years, and I tell people that I still have a lot of clarinets. I have really good clarinets, actually. And I played into college, but I played mostly because I really enjoyed playing in band.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the camaraderie. I enjoyed going to free football games. I'm a really big football fan, so going to marching at football games was such a blast growing up, that I continued that into college, and then just got too busy. I wasn't a music major, so I was getting a business degree, so I just really didn't have the time anymore to put into the band stuff. I played like my freshman and sophomore year, and then I just kind of had to stop because I just got too busy.
Right. Yeah. Lil played like the clarinet, the piccolo, the flute. So yeah, there was a lot of she like parades, and yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the schedule that I had was, high school, holy moly. When you talk band season or marching band season, it's just nonstop. You're gone to practices, and especially in Arizona, you had like 0 hour because it was too hot to practice out here during the day or at night. So you'd have like 0 hour at like 4:30 in the morning, and you'd play for 2 hours or practice for 2 hours, and then to do another hour in band for first hour. So you had like 3 hours every day. Then you had football games on Friday. You may have a band event on a Saturday. It was crazy. And then college was crazier. College was like a lot of hours for 2 credits. Like 2 credits. That's all I got from that. I was like crazy nuts for the amount of hours I put in. But it was fun. I got into free football games.
Right. That's always good.
Well, I thought also, so here's my thinking, and I think, have I told you this, James? I got into playing clarinet because I thought I could get the chicks with the clarinet. I'm
clarinet.
I'm hanging with the chicks. But then I found out, I'm hanging with the chicks, but guess who they looked at me as?
Yeah.
That guy playing the clarinet. I'm not playing the saxophone. I wasn't the cool dude playing the saxophone or the trumpet or the trombone. I was Andy, the guy playing the clarinet next to them. So I was their friend.
That's funny. That's funny.
High school thinking Andy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. It was okay though. I still played for a long time, and I had a lot of really good friends doing that stuff. So anyway, and we were talking that it's interesting that Metal and I have a band that we have somewhat in common. His what was this? Your cousin? Your uncle? Your cousin, right?
What's that?
Your cousin, the drummer?
Oh no, that's it was a high school friend or high
school friend. So a friend that he played in high school with actually was in a band that I know that I've listened to a million times, and they're like one of those bands that have people that go in and out of their band a lot. But Dope, which is industrial metal, I listen to that. They're kind of not really. They're industrial, so they have that really kind of dark sound, almost or industrial sound to them, but it's still really good metal.
Techno, kind of shronic, kind of, I guess, vibe to it as well. So it kind of plays with the background along with the metal.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Cool. It's really good stuff. And what's funny is that he had that in common. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. So anyway, so tell me about what's been Mandy being up this week, or James, what have you guys been up to? Oh, there's the captain. There's the man. What's up, Captain?
Hey.
Thanks for jumping on. We were like, we had our guests like ditch out the last minute, and we were like, hey, who could we just hang out with? And we're like, hey, how about Captain and Mandy?
Is he at the Walmart parking lot?
He's at the Walmart.
He probably is at the Walmart parking lot.
I am. I'm at the Walmart parking lot. I'm scoping out beards again.
Nice. Do you
Not a lot of
find
good ones, I'm going to admit it.
Right. Do you find like it's hard to not do that? Like ever since I became a part of this community, it's like it's hard to not notice beards. I was at a conference in Louisville, and there was a guy in one of these workshops and had like this really long, nice blonde beard. And I was like, okay, don't stare at him. Don't stare at him. I'm like, but man, that's a really nice beard. Right. And so like he busted me like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope he doesn't think like I'm trying to hit on him or whatever. And so like I approached him afterwards and I'm like, I'm not staring at you personally. It's the beard. And he just lost it. He was like, no, I get it. I was just like, I'm sorry. Like, trying not to be weird, man, but here's some beard shit. Go for it.
Here, have a beard. Here's some beard oil. Here's a card.
Yeah, no, I really did. Yeah, I really did. That's when I was repping for Rockin', and I was like, dude, here's some beard shit. He was like, awesome.
That is cool.
But, yeah.
I'll get like random people at the store. Like a couple of days ago, the guy was standing in line. He goes, how long have you been growing your beard? I'm like since like 2018. He's like, oh, I can't. He didn't have a beard. He had scruff, but he didn't have a beard. He goes, oh, I can't get past like 2 weeks without like the itch or whatever, getting through the itch or whatever, if I just shave it off. But because all I can tell, you got like, I can tell you can't take care of it and you put stuff on, you got like moisturizer or whatever on it. I'm like, yeah. So
we got a name for guys without beards. We call them ladies.
I love that.
You guys,
totally
you guys ready for Amateur Beard Month?
Right.
We are, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
We do get a couple people that join on the bandwagon every year, and then because I will have at least 3 guys that I know. Hey, I hear you're into beards. What do you suggest at like Target to go get right now? I'm like, leave. Just leave. Don't go there. Have you tried any of those have you guys tried over-the-counter brands that? Like a big box store?
Walmart brand.
What?
My first beard oil was from Walmart.
Yeah.
It was Wild Lilies.
Oh, right.
That was my first one. It was like a tea tree or something like that. Mm.
Trusting beard oil from Walmart is like trusting a fart after a chili contest.
It's so true. What's the other really? Cremo is the other one that's always in Walmart.
Everyman Jack.
Don't touch that Jack. Yeah. I mean, they're not horrible, but yeah.
I've seen Honest Almond.
I used to actually use their hair products for a while, and even found recently pomades from Detroit Grooming Company, man, that are even far more superior and way better for your hair, man.
That's I don't want to say that I know some people like Everyman Jack, and I have tried them, and like the first thing you go is like, yeah, this is okay, and then when you try real stuff, you're like exactly what you're talking about. Like, this is real pomade. They actually put some stuff in here to hold I bought some hair clay recently from Kuhn that I'm waiting to try out because he kind of knows what he's doing.
Nice.
It's not over the counter, it's not at the over the counter. I'm talking about prescription drugs or something. Right. Or non-prescription drugs. But it's like you go to the big box store and there's this aisle of like 5 beard product stuff, and you're like, hey, Bulldog. I'll try some Bulldog today.
What do you guys think of Gibbs? Have you guys used Gibbs before?
No.
No, I have a lot of guys that swear by it, man, and it's very to me it's very low or high quality store bought compared to, but nothing compared to like a real beard oil.
Right. That's what you run into, and that's so Beard Brand is out there in the real world, in the big box, and I think their generic line is okay. Like, it's okay. I don't think it's bad, but unless you want, it smells like pine dust. Like if you're in a sawmill.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's like a cedar-y kind of, it's not horrible, but it's like being on the floor, on the shop at your work, at home or something, Gibbs, where do you find Gibbs at? Is that in Rite Aid or something?
I'm not really sure, honestly. I think I found it at like one of the bigger box department stores, Elks or something like that. I was able to try it from, and it was years ago. That was one of my first ones I ever tried. But a lot of the villains, they swear by it, man. But they're, of course, pretty much they get discounts and stuff like that in order to say what they have to say and do with that too. So it's kind of skeptical for me. Just not a fan of it, man. I find it to be a low grade, unquality product, man, but it is a high quality product compared to what you'll find on Walmart shelves.
Oh, right. So that was your first product, James? So what was your first product, Captain?
It was Gibbs.
Gibbs, yeah. What was your first, James? I can't remember. What did you say that was?
Wild Willie's. Actually, if I saw the review, that's right. When I first saw Wild Willie's at Walmart, I actually looked up Wild Willie's like beer products on YouTube, and actually I saw a Beer Country Shop review on it. So that's what made me kind of get it, I guess, was to try it out. And I think I know how to apply. I mean, I didn't really know how to apply it, I guess you could say. So I mean, could say it worked or whatever. I didn't know. I knew out of the shower you had to apply it, but I mean, applying it just to a dry beard, I didn't think I knew it then. You know what I'm saying, I knew later on you apply it to a damp beard.
I think Captain left us. Isn't that?
I probably lost connection.
Well, he's in the Walmart parking lot, so yeah, or driving. But there he is. So what is it that? See, I went and got Walmart stuff, and I got what was it? Oh, I still have it here. Let me see what I got. Best Damn Beard Oil by Duke Cannon. Have you guys tried that? This is what I got.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Right.
Like
I tend to find it a lot at.
Go ahead.
That you find it at Cracker Barrel a lot.
That's what somebody else told me too. I was like, "Hey, yeah, and I thought that they were like, the Best Damn Beard Oil is like a orangey spice, like clove. I guess it's orange and clove kind of smell.
Yeah.
And it actually did kind of do what it was supposed to do. So it got me past the beard itch problem that I had. And then I found Dan. And then once you find Dan, then, you find there's real stuff out there that you start purchasing.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm trying to think of who I bought. I think I bought Beard Octane. That was my first real small batch.
I got first beer conditioner was from Dan. Well, I got from Bad Dog, so it was from a Dan video.
Oh, right.
So has anybody tried Anointed AK?
I have not, and I was told that they are okay. They're not bad, but I just don't like Food Sense that much, or at least at the time I didn't.
Mm-hmm. I'm a firm fan of Anointed AK. It's one of the actual companies I got into. That was my first mail order. It was good stuff.
Yeah, I've been told there's one of the guitar guy. I can't remember his name.
Mark.
Do you know who I'm talking about, James?
Mark,
that one metal.
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
He's like an ambassador for him, right? Yeah, he plays awesome guitar.
I know Mark. I'm an ambassador actually for them as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the Anointed AK I've never tried. It's just because they're just one of the hundreds of companies out there that I've wanted to try and just never. And they have so many scents. I really wanted to try their Elements line.
Yeah. It's not bad, actually. I've got pretty much everything they have. That's what my closet's actually pretty much full of before we started with this venture. So it's one of my favorites. That and Detroit Grooming Company are my two favorites, probably.
Oh, that's cool. I've never tried. Have you tried Detroit, James?
I got decent. I got 313. I just got 313 like a couple weeks ago, I think. The butter and the
It's
oil.
good stuff.
And the wash. I got a co-wash. The co-wash, oh my God, is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like and that's what I have not tried them. I have a friend that tried them and said, yeah, they're next level good. And I've recommended them because I know Dan loves them. But I've just they're a little pricey too, though. They're just a little pricey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so wait a minute.
You wait long enough and you get a discount code from somebody.
True.
That's true. So you recommended something without trying it?
I said Dan suggested it. That's what I said. I said, here's this guy. It was like early on. Like I wasn't even a reviewer at this point. I was just hey, I'm trying all these beard products. And this guy goes, hey, what do you recommend? And I go, well, I've tried this Beard Octane. I think it was like Beard Octane, and I tried Beard Justice at that point. And I said, I've tried these two. My friend Dan said that Detroit Grooming is really good. And then he found a bunch of articles where everybody was recommending them. So then he bought from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I that was early, like probably a year and a half ago, before I even thought about becoming a reviewer for this stuff. I was just like enthralled with the amount of beard oils that there was out in the world. I was just like, these things are so cool. They all smell cool.
Back when you were just a wee little lad.
I know, small beard, not really sure what I was doing yet.
I remember my baby beard. Dude, I cut my beard. I used to cut for years and years and years, real short, just to do what that normal like little chin beard almost, where it's a strap that went just around the sides. I had the goatee, but the goatee was cut real short, to the front, so it always had a line. But I had to stop that. Time to go for a real beard.
I had a goatee for. Did you have a beard before this, James? What was your beard like before?
When I first started growing facial hair, I always had like the bottom part. I always had like this long, or I always cut it off, but I always had like this. I always shaved the mustache part because I really never came in like thick. Sometimes I would kind of like connect like the little side straps to this, and that's really kind of as far as I went. And then I think one day I was just like, I'm gonna try it out.
Go all in.
Yeah.
I had a goatee for like 20 years. And then I tried doing little things like the side strap or chin strap. I've tried stubble beard. And I think that I decided about a year and a half ago after I found that I was like, hey, I want to just try something different. And then I couldn't get past the beard itch, so I just kept shaving it back off.
I always use like shampoo or some kind of body wash or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's the whole problem is I didn't know even that part. I was just like using shampoo or whatever, it was just, and it was coarse and thick and it didn't feel soft at all. So I was just like, shave it off again.
I started with Head and Shoulders. I used to use that stuff on my beard religiously, and it would tear it out.
It's just dry it out, right?
Big time. Even your face, your skin, man, you couldn't put enough oil in it to actually stop it. And now it's just you got to go with a good wash, man.
Totally.
Which is really hard to find. You got to have a good wash, you got to have a good co-wash, and a good conditioner itself too. So,
who's your go-to?
Scotch Porter most of the time. Although me and Mandy are talking about some new ideas actually in the works. We haven't put anything forward yet, but we're actually trying to come up with our own concoction slowly. But I'm a fan of Scotch Porter when it comes down to it, man, and Detroit Grooming Co. too.
Yeah, cool. I'll have to try that out.
I know. I'm gonna have to send him. I'm gonna have to send you, Cappy, the one that I mimicked after Scotch Porter, the leave-in conditioner.
Yeah.
Because that was like actually the first real project that I did. And it's Bob Morgan asked me to try to do that. So I think it's not I guess like as creamy as Scotch Porters. You know, you can squeeze it and it kind of looks like a lotion. But I'm telling you, from Bob's reaction, it's better than Scotch Porters.
Send it my way. I'd love to check it out this week.
I know, like, and I keep meaning like to get it to you, and I just, you know,
we got
a million other things.
Our new release is coming up, so.
Yes, it is, and that's all of that, and then like the cook-off and all the changes have been my primary focus. So.
Well, if you just stay off your fans only site, right?
I gotta make money, man. You know, don't be judging.
$20.
That's right. That's right. $1's a dollar, and don't be judging because I see you stopping in there all the time. Donations.
You give me those free links.
Well, you know, I do what I can.
That's hilarious.
I think I still have like 4 tubs of Scotch Porter, but I use very sparingly.
Of the original?
Yeah.
I still have mine.
From what I've seen, they've gone back to the original formula is what it looks like this last week.
Well, it's because people were complaining about the new one. It just didn't take on didn't do the same stuff, you know.
Yeah.
That conditioner was amazing. And isn't that interesting though, that once you find good products, you're like, what the heck was I doing for 10 years?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I was like, what? But it's only been recent that beards became like a thing. And then it took about 5 or 6 more years for companies to start actually getting out there to where they weren't the stuff that you see. I mean, it used to be the aisle was Cremo and Bulldog. Maybe not even that. I don't remember a beard section of products ever being out there.
You imagine
there still isn't really
there
one.
really was, yeah.
There still really isn't
years
one.
ago.
If you go to your Kroger's, they're still not selling anything. It's like Cremo.
I imagine like 200 years ago, people just massive amounts of like dandruff coming out of their beard, them rubbing like pig fat and stuff in it. 'Cause I've seen actually one of my friends actually who's African American rubs butter into his beard because it gives him a better, smoother beard, and he uses that, just the fat itself, and then washes his face, washes everything out, and then puts beard oil and everything else in.
Like country crock type butter?
No, like actual realistic butter without salt and everything. He has a whole thing that he does, and he uses it once every week, and it's a relaxer because his hair is so dense and so much harder than ours. So when it comes off, it just comes off and folds outwards. So he gets it to relax, and it actually gets straightened in a way. The butter itself, I wouldn't use it, but hey, I mean, he does it, and that's something that he thinks works for him.
Probably just like the weight of it, because it's made out of heavy cream. So
yeah,
that's
interesting.
It makes it straight.
Like a moisturizer almost. It sounds like it could be because it has oils and stuff too, right?
It does.
Yeah. I remember watching a video of a guy do this, and I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? He's putting just butter in his beard. He just took a thing of unsalted butter and just was like lathering it up. I'm like, holy moly, what is this guy doing? And I think now that makes sense. Okay.
So
Well,
in the
yeah,
80s,
I mean, if you think what's in it,
my mom
You know,
used
it's
to
a
put in
butter.
my stepdad's beard. She used to put mayonnaise in it to get it to relax. Back in the 80s and 90s, the beginning
yep,
of like
I've heard that.
my dad had a full
Oil.
beard, but it was always cut real short, you know, just under the chin and then rolled back. And he used to use it as a relaxer. My mom used to make do some weird crap for the 80s. That is, these days we're doing everything like the 80s or like they were back then. So it's kind of funny.
I think one of the first beard videos, I don't remember. I was just searching for beard oil DIY, and this guy came on talking about the fact that he could render bear fat and turn it into a beard oil. And I was like, well, I don't have any bear, but you know, what is this guy going to do? And he just showed you his recipe for making, he was like a Canadian out of just rendering fat and then putting it in his beard.
There's a
So
company.
there's a difference.
There's a company I came across a couple weeks ago that I have to find it. They use tallow, tallow is obviously an animal fat, in their oils, I think, in their beard oils. But
That's interesting. I mean, probably that same principle where it's like just an oil and they refine it and then they put it into their beard oil recipe.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah, that is.
Because it has all those amino acids and stuff that could probably go rancid on you, I'm sure.
Well, just think of like the difference if you were to rub a steak on your face versus our beard oil. The amount of grease you would have on your face would just not, they wouldn't work. You'd have pores that would just clog up and all that kind of stuff. And I've actually had that with some beard oils, so where the pores on my face clog up from having whatever is in them that's not very pure. And that causes acne or different things like that in the beard. I'm sure you guys have experienced pimples in your beard before.
Right.
It kind of sucks, man. You're like sitting there trying to pop this thing, and of course the hair's coming off around it and everything. As you're like, man, I know everybody could see this big bright red thing right through right here on my face, you know.
It's been a while, but yeah, I haven't experienced like beard acne in a while. So I mean, I remember like if you're doing like either a comb, you're doing your routine, or you go like that, and you're like, oh my god, like it's right like on your chin, and I'm like, you obviously can't get to it to pop it or whatever, but it sucks.
Yep.
It's almost like an ingrown hair at that point. I've had those. Those are painful.
Oh yeah.
Those are so painful. When I got this recently, when I cut this, the barber cut it down and kind of trimmed it down and lined it up. Well, one of the hairs that we must have cut got ingrown and started pimpling up, and it was just so painful. But I got past it, so we're moving on.
Nice.
So what do you guys? So what's your guys' plan for? So we got the fall scents coming out. We got some new scents coming out here in the next week or two. Is that right?
Yes, we're continuing rolling out some new scents, of course, that Mandy's come up with in the past. Some of them, some brand new scents that we're trying to push for wintertime. We're going to be doing some new rollouts now, and then of course for the big push when we're going to be doing the cook-off in November. We're going to be dropping a whole bunch of new stuff at the same time within that week.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, like we've got it planned out, you know, what we're doing through the end of the year, and we have pushed forward working on into the spring. So
we're already starting our spring collection.
Yeah, we don't take a day off. I mean, we just don't.
See, and it is hard work. I know that it's exactly hard work, but it's all passion. You know, it's the art of it, right? And that's where I get to. That's where when I ask these music has a lot to do with art for me, and I think the same passion as an artist you have to have for all of this stuff to make it work well. Because if you don't have that passion, you're not going to stay in the business long. You're just not.
Nope.
Especially for you guys, and you know that the way to rich and famous is not through owning a beard company.
What are you talking about? Yeah,
for real? I thought that we were gonna get rich and famous, man.
Right. Me.
Mandy made promises.
She did. I heard that she was making promises like, "Hey, you can be rich and famous. You can get on Andy's YouTube live stream and have like the 20 people that view it every time."
Right. This
I
is
was at
lifestyles of the rich
Walmart.
and
She
famous.
texted it to me.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing this, and I usually get, now I've been realizing I get about, on my beards and desserts, I get about 60 views. But that's good enough. I have a good time hanging out with you guys, so that's what matters to me. Definitely not going to get rich and famous doing it unless I can make that. Have you ever thought that you could, James, have you ever thought, how can I make, as a creator, that one video that goes viral?
Right.
And everybody thinks that they can do it. Like, what could I do to make my video go viral?
Something original or something like nobody's done, or just something
Right.
something like that would happen. You know, it has to be just original, like, you know, not staged or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
I know. I you know, and if we had the I just don't know. It's like the YouTube algorithm gods have to shine on you, and it definitely is almost like you're not going to do it off a beard oil video. Like, even if you come up with the most creative video, you might get more watches, but like if you were to fall down some stairs, you'd probably get more. And if you kept
Okay, so
posting
you
content,
fall down the stairs putting beard oil in. There you go.
oh, there we go. That's it, James. There's your video.
like I
I
said,
live in a ranch. I live in a ranch style house, so no falling. I could just fall with no stairs.
You can't
I
help
could
but
trip
watch
over some
someone
carpet.
fall.
Yeah. Hey, fall down some stairs. I
gotta
will
look
tell
at
you
falling
this.
is the floor's way of saying hello.
That's
Yeah. It needs a hug.
it needed a hug today.
Yeah.
Little visit.
Yeah. So, but you know what I do appreciate is the people that come in here every time and just hang out with us. There's a lot of, now we're right at the same time as Joe tonight, so we're not getting anywhere near the views that we normally would. But I enjoy hanging out with the same folks. You know, that's kind of a fun thing to have, like, your same friends to hang out with on a weekday after,
Right.
especially on a Thursday night. It's cool to hang out with you guys again. I'm glad that as much as I hated John having to cancel last minute, it's good to have good friends to just jump on and hang out.
all right.
Oh yeah.
Also, you know, the other thing is that I hate when I have a package and I have to like pick Caden to go get the unboxing time. And this week has just been birthday stuff on Wednesday. Today we had a dental appointment, and it just is sitting there. And I must have picked up, Mandy, your package, or you and Captain's package, at least 20 times today. I'm trying to figure out what's in it. I can't wait. I'm like, what's in this package? Because
Nice.
it's trying to you don't want to open it because it can't be part, because the unboxing is what I live for. You know, me and Caden live for the unboxing. So I'm like trying to look through holes. Is there any holes? No, it's really packed well. Can I smell it through the packaging? No, couldn't smell anything through the packaging. No, so it's just been 20 times of me trying to, oh man, I can't wait to open these fall scents.
Yeah, I wrap it up like there's no peeking, like you just cannot.
That's right.
And
so you're right. That's what I got off the last. Remember we were saying, hey, do you remember how I shrink wrapped it? And remember I couldn't get Caden to open it. Like, he was like sitting here going like this for 20 minutes with like his baby scissors.
Yeah.
Or no, he was trying to open it up by hand, and I just like took the baby scissors and went snip, snip, snip.
Yeah.
But there was still some packaging going on there.
How old is he?
Yeah.
Caden is 11. He'll be 12 in like a month.
You want Christmas to last longer this year? Wrap all of his gifts in contact paper.
Yes.
Captain
That's
approved.
awesome. Yeah.
Captain approved. Stamp.
Yeah, and you never know really what you're gonna find inside of a package from us. Like, you just don't. Like, I sent some out that had like some Halloween stuff in it. No nudes. That's strictly you. The ramen nudes is you. But yeah, like it had Halloween stuff in it. So
I was actually at Walmart
Oh.
stocking up on all my ramen nudes.
nice.
Isn't it?
You
I'm
know-
gonna bring this up. Is it not weird that you can't find the soy sauce flavor in a pack that you can buy a bunch of? You have to buy them individually. My kid loves ramen noodles. So, like, see, here she is with the ramen noodles.
There she is. Hi,
Hey,
sweetheart.
hey.
Say hi, Aish.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's kind of cheaper just to go ahead and buy them like in the giant pack,
At least we got to see your
I mean-
nudes.
right?
Hey, I'm putting them on fans only later.
Only-
Check out these naked noodles. Watch as I sensuously stir in the sauce.
I'm never gonna be able to watch my kid make ramen noodles again. Just I'm not.
Oh, we
best.
should. Sounds like a TikTok video, doesn't it?
Yeah,
There's a TikTok video right there.
You knew onlynudes.com.
yeah, onlynudes.com.
Only nudes.
I'm updating my bio later on hotpolishsausage.com. We're actually, my little lady here and I, we're actually cooking today.
Oh,
What are we
awesome.
making?
Pierogies.
Oh, those are so
Ooh.
good.
Yes.
Are you guys Polish?
I am actually. My last name's Chope, but it's shortened. It used to be Shopladewski. So
Oh, okay.
when my parents came across on the boat back in the day, that's the name change. So
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah, we so I was one of my many lives and many ex-wives. She was Polish, and so we ate pierogies, that garlic ham or garlic bologna.
yes,
We used to go to the European meat market, and I you can't get, so good, so good.
it is.
Pierogies
good
are
stuff.
still my favorite. Pierogies are still my favorite. They're so good that
What do you
there
like
used to
them
be a
stuffed with?
I'm a meat guy, so I think we had sausage.
Yep, that's what we're making tonight. Usually it's either that or Aisha loves I make a sour cream and potatoes and chives Which is
Oh my
really good,
goodness
too.
gracious!
with cheddar cheese.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
Are you guys like gonna feed this to me when I come down there?
That's the plan. So Mandy's coming to Chattanooga.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
awesome.
She's
Yeah.
gonna be here for Halloween.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yes,
That'll be a
Yep.
good time.
We're-
Do you make
Yeah.
any of that Polish food, James?
I don't think I've ever made Polish food.
You should look up recipe for pierogies. Those are really, really, really good.
so good. One of my other favorites is duck blood soup. It's
Oh, I
kind of
totally-
sounds weird, but it is so good. It's just a minimal
Ew.
amount of duck blood, which you can get, of course, from any duck you got, and it's delicious. It's salty though.
Ew.
You know what? I have
So
had that.
gross.
And then what's the beets? Beet soup? Is it beet?
Beet soup. Yep.
Yeah, that's really
And then
good.
of course glumpies are really good. There's a whole bunch of good stuff from over there.
Corey, are
Polish.
you really?
European
Corey
food's
says
so
he's
much better.
Polish.
Kielbasa's good. Yeah.
He wants some Polish in him. That's what he's really wanting.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean,
That's
like he
funny.
wants to marry you, Cappy. So yeah, I'm thinking yeah.
Hey,
Polish.
$20 is $20. If I'm drunk, I don't know the difference.
That's true. That's
You're
true.
reaching around in the dark, you just got to grab the lever. You know what I mean?
That's why we have you on, Ken. It's a good time.
What
It
is-
makes me laugh.
One of these days, we're gonna do this live from the tattoo chair. It's even more fun. I love what I do, so we make it even more fun at the shop, man. And it's just nonstop riot, and I get away with saying a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't. So it's not a kids-based show, but hey, we can make it some fun. We'll have Mandy with the button. She'll be like, he's swearing again. Oh yeah.
So that's funny.
Awesome.
So Mandy, so if you were to say, hey, this is where my family's from, where is your family from?
We are a mix. So we have Cherokee on my grandmother's side, Scottish, Irish, and Welsh.
Oh, does that make
Was the
that makes
last I
sense.
heard.
Yeah, that makes sense. How about you, James? What if you were to say, hey, I'm my parents were from, or grandparents, or
I actually did the ancestry.com thing, the DNA thing.
yeah.
So I think majority. I was always raised to know that I was part like
Yeah, that makes sense. How about you, James?
English,
Not me.
Norwegian, and I think I have something like a little like part German, like a small little amount of German, and then I forgot what the other one was. Yeah.
You did the ancestry.com DNA test though?
Yeah.
Was it cool?
Yeah. I mean, I think they had like a special or something like that.
Yeah, like
So-
$99. Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about that.
Yeah, that's
But,
a really
you know.
cool idea. That's really cool. I think you should do that, Mandy. I know that so many people that felt like they saw pieces of where they were from and they had no idea that piece was, they're like, part this, and you're like, what? No idea. So my family comes, I mean, we have a lot of British. So that's definitely because I was listening to my granddad talk today or this last weekend when we took him on a tour, and he was like, our family were plantation owners up until the Civil War, of course, and then that's all British. So very interesting though that's I guess at one point my family owned a third of Alabama. Very weird. I was like the southern part of Alabama. I don't know if there's a good southern part of Alabama. If that's like
where brothers and sisters go to get married.
Yeah,
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Uncle Grandpa.
I
Probably
hate
true.
that cartoon. I hate it.
So
Uncle
awesome.
Grandpa.
I hate it.
It is funny.
No, it is not.
What is it
It's
called?
so
What
ridiculous.
is it
Uncle
called?
Grandpa.
Uncle Grandpa.
Yeah.
Uncle Grandpa. You got to turn it on once and watch the first episode, and you will like get hooked. It's just so ridiculously hideous. It's funnier than anything.
It's
Is it like Adult Swim?
No, it's a kid show.
Something like that, but it's
You're gonna be like, kids are watching this? What?
right. That's the thing.
He
It's
hangs
like,
out with like Pizza Steve, and then he's got like a magical flying tiger with like lit eyes and something like that. And they like hang out in a camper van.
it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
He wears a fanny pack too. It's awesome.
Oh, fanny
Manny's
pack.
just jealous. She's like, I wish I could find this guy in real life. I would marry him.
Guy with a fanny pack.
It's your
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. Love those fanny packs. But yeah, Charlie would watch it and I was like, what is this? Oh, it's funny. You got to watch it. And like, I couldn't. It's like, I don't know, me trying to watch the Trailer Park Boys.
That's a good show too. Letterkenny
I've heard
is
of
much
it.
better.
I've
It's
never.
interesting.
Is it like pranks? Is it like pranks or something? Or
no.
It's basically about a guy that keeps going to jail because he keeps growing weed and doing stupid stuff while the other guy's trying to brew liquor or do anything he can to go to jail too, and they have these stupid hijinks. But there's this guy named Bubbles with these huge Coke bottle glasses, and he's always raising cats and lives in like a little shed out back. And they're always like trying to help each other out, but they're like always end of the season they go to jail some way, somehow. And there's some drunk trailer park supervisor. It's always funnier than anything, and it's hilarious. But Letterkenny is so much better. It's a play on words. It's intelligent, just weird as ever, but fun. Canadian television, man, it's where it's at. Have you guys ever seen the Red Green show from like the 90s?
oh yeah, I do. I've seen that. Yeah,
Did you like it?
I did.
Then you will love all these shows. Mandy's insane.
Oh, interesting. I remember watching the Red Green Show.
You
was
say
a good
that
show.
like it's, this new
I mean,
thing that just
we
popped
all
up.
know. Next week we're interviewing Mandy's doctor on here.
That's next. Yes, we're gonna like last minute guess of. Oh, you got a doctor? Does he want to get on here?
Yeah, we're talking about dysfunctional disorders today.
Wow. Yeah,
How many of them Mandy does and
that'll,
doesn't have?
It's more like which personality. Which one are you dealing with today? I'm just saying.
Which one are we dealing with?
The one that is like just tired. I had a dentist appointment today. Charlie and I both did. And so like up until like 20, maybe 30 minutes ago, like I still felt like my face was out to here. My mom told me I looked like a stroke victim.
Dang.
Because it was like, I was like, thanks. She was like, well, yeah. And so now it's at the point where just like my tooth is hurting. So,
Am I the only one that fears that place? Like going to a place where they can rip stuff out of your head?
I'm not a fan, but this was a filling that I don't even know how old it was. And she was like that it was just not sealed properly anymore. So like stuff was getting down in there, food and everything. And she's like, we got to replace it. And then I have to go back next week too. Like a few years ago, I was eating a piece of bacon and I was like, this bacon is a whole hell of a lot crunchier than it should be. Well, part of my back molar, it had a hairline fracture in it and it broke off.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, it's not bothering me. I'm just going to leave it. And so my dentist, like, I don't know, I guess a year or so ago, she patched it and it was fine. But then the patch gave way, like the filling. So we have to go back and she has to put pins in it to hold it. And I was just like, man. It's like, let's just leave it. I mean, I had one dentist that was like, oh, well, we can pull it or we can do a root canal for like $5,000. I'm like, you know what? It don't hurt me. I ain't messing with it. So,
Yep.
yeah,
Toothaches,
not looking forward to it.
Like toothaches are no joke. Like,
No,
it's
they are
Right?
not.
Oh my gosh, they are worse. I would think like a toothache is probably worse than child labor. Like it's horrible.
Using child labor or doing child labor?
Either one. Either one.
China's in pain right now, guys.
Right. Yeah, sure they are. But yeah, it sucks. And it's one part of your tooth can hurt, but it's like your whole face because those nerves go up into your face and connect with everything. And like this the whole side of my nose was hurting and I was just like, kill me now.
I found the best way to take care of that is if you have your friend bust you in the side of the face. It does cure the pain for a little while.
So he wasn't
I'm
here.
just saying, I've had it happen in the tattoo shop. My tooth is killing me, and I'm like, I have to finish this tattoo. I can't just leave and go home. So the only thing you can do is, hey, dude, you mind punching me real quick? You hit the floor, it's over with for a few minutes. The pain, like something else hurts.
tattoos.
That's the way to do it.
Don't take my advice.
Don't take his advice
Don't
on
take his
pain
advice.
over pain. now my arm hurts. Now I broke my arm.
You guys ever watch Major Pain?
I did.
Love
You remember?
that movie.
He's like talking about how something hurts or whatever. He's like, let me see your finger. He's
Right. Yeah.
Don't hurt no more, does it?
Oh, my finger
Right.
hurts. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Your leg don't hurt.
All right. I love that movie. That is like the best.
Wasn't that coming from Living Color? That was like the character from Living Color.
I believe it was. It was the
Yeah.
Wayans brothers. And
Yeah.
you know what's funny is it comes from a time in movies where actors could play more than one part, unlike today.
Right.
Right.
Same guy plays the same part in every film today.
Right.
Totally true.
Yeah. I love that movie.
I like going back old school, Casablanca stuff. Gone with the Wind.
Those are good.
Good
Yeah.
movies.
Those
I
are
can't
good
wait
movies.
for Christmas films.
This is the interesting thing about that, and I was talking to somebody about that, is that they didn't have the CGI, they didn't have the special effects, so it all had to be done by acting and some props.
You had to have talent.
You had to have talent, exactly. You had to portray, like, you think about African Queen, Casablanca, very basic sets. Maybe like in a town somewhere, and they set up the movie, but it was the acting that carried the movie, not anything else. Gone with the Wind's another great one. The sets were really basic in that. There was, there's the plantation house. There it is again, burning.
Want to talk about easy? Look at the movie The African Queen.
That's a great.
All they needed was a boat.
They needed a boat in a swampy looking area because he walks the entire, he's in the water the entire time, right?
He just kept doing a circle over and over and over as he was dragging the boat behind it, and the lady's like bitching at him, and he's like, come on, I'm trying to get us out of here, Perfect movie about a man and a woman's relationship.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with those. Are such good classics, and it's just Humphrey Bogart is still that predominant like male of that's what he was known for, just being that really awesome male lead.
Yes. Have you seen Dr. Strangelove?
I have. Yes.
One of my favorites, man. Or How I Learned to Love the Bomb is another name for it. Anyone who hasn't seen it, you must see it. Peter Sellers plays like 3 roles. Amazing film. And it kind of shows you what would happen if the wrong guy got his hand on a nuke.
Right. Yeah, good stuff. Very good stuff.
Well, all I have to do is just think, like, what would Captain do if he got a hold of one? Oh. We're not making a movie about it.
Hammer, and I would get on it, and I would just start banging the head of it as hard as I could, and I'd be like, Amanda, look!
I'll just be like, okay, you're gonna die.
It would be on live, though.
It would be. I'd be like, watch what this idiot's doing today.
On my fans only site. That way, we rake in the money.
That's true.
If you call it floating booty holes. I'm sitting on it. That'd be the first thing to go, right?
Lord.
Okay,
heaven
guys.
help you.
You guys are funny. So I have 718 here. My wife wants me to go to the store because there's no milk, there's no drinks, there's no TP. We're like on the edge of surviving here, apparently.
Dang.
Yeah. We're just sitting at, it's like, hey, we went down to Southern Arizona this last weekend, which was totally awesome. Went with my 94-year-old grandpa. Totally fun, but we didn't buy anything. We bought some stuff for the kids to get through the weekend, and then we just didn't buy anything like we normally go to the grocery store on a Sunday. So now we're just like, hey, what do we just need to get by this week? We just don't want to go anywhere. And so now I'm like, yeah, we have no toilet paper. That's a have to. That's not like or a need to. That's not like a, hey, we could probably drink some water for a bit.
You got leaves out in the yard, man. Come on.
Right. Well, no, maybe not there.
No, you just have rocks. Just be like sitting there on some rocks.
I think those could work, though. Really.
You can wash your rock after, right?
Right. Make sure it's not jagged.
Dry out your corn cobs. That's what we do here in the South.
Get some corn cob action.
We use it in the theater, and then we take it out and make a pipe out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Have you guys ever tried to smoke like tobacco from a pipe? Let's make a corn pipe.
No.
It does not stay lit worth a damn.
It does not, and it tastes horrible. Me and my friend, we got one of those. We went down to Walgreens and we were like, we're going to smoke. We're going to smoke some tobacco. We're going to have a pipe thing going. So we thought, well, this is the cheapest pipe we could find. I've heard of people smoking those corncob pipes before. So we thought we would go and be, adults. We were like 19. So we go and it tasted exactly like you would think, like a corn cob. You're smoking a corn cob. You're just like eating it mostly. You're like, what are we supposed to be doing with this? Or is there like something we're supposed to be doing? We just keep relighting it. Like you said, It doesn't keep lit at all. We're just like, what are we supposed to do? We must have the cheapest tobacco that you could possibly buy as well. So there was just no.
That's crazy.
Nice.
That's funny.
Stupid things you do with your 19-year-old friends.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still doing
Captain would know.
Yeah, still doing them at 40. You're like, hey, what if I try this?
So at work this week, there was a stabbing in the parking lot, as well as we had a drug addict in the parking lot passing out who was with him in one of our parking spaces, trying to get into all of our cars and going nuts while they were trying to get the stabbing victim under control, who was running and flailing himself through the parking lot while they're like, sir, come on, get in the ambulance. And he's like, I can't do it. I don't know where my damn wife is and all this shit. It was like the most funny scene we've seen in a long time.
That doesn't come now. Do you guys? Where is your tattoo shop? Is in Chattanooga? Where is it in like a nice area, industrial area? What is in what?
It
where
was
is your shop
great
at?
area. It's been a great, nice area actually until recently. One of the hotels in our area decided to start taking in people out of the jail system. So as soon as they get out of jail, they get 5 free days there. Well, once they get a room, they call all their friends and they have like 20 to 30 drug addicts in these rooms, and the police are called 20, 30 times a night. There's just constant trouble now on our street. We've got these street pharmaceuticals that are going on through our area. So you've got these guys just out of their mind, grabbing stuff off the ground, falling, tripping. They're hiding behind our dumpsters now. It's because of COVID, it's put a lot of people homeless and into jail and stuff like that. And now we're seeing the dark end of it. And in an area where, I live a mile away from the shop and I pay it's pretty high priced. I'm about 15 to 2,500 is what this house would cost a month on a mortgage. I'm paying 1,700 a month rent. And then you look at like the area, because it's a richer area, I should see less of that. But today we're seeing more because of the convenience stores and the things that are near us. These people just kind of latch onto. So there was actually a homeless camp behind our shop and behind the convenience store up until about 2 weeks ago. The police evicted them, and there's about 60 people staying in a tent behind the store.
Wow.
Oh goodness!
Wow, that's
scary.
terrible.
It's been getting bad. I love where I'm at. Our shopping plaza it's a great area. We're right off the highway, super easy to get to. It's a mall right next to us. So I mean, it's higher end stuff, and you don't expect it, but that's where people are getting money at, is from the higher end people, because they have it to give to the people. So you see a lot of it there, and it's just kind of making people a little bit different. We're seeing a little bit more violence now and a lot less caring because of COVID. It's pushing people away from each other in a lot of ways. And of course, our political actions going on right now, it's really separating people. You're seeing the people getting used as tools for one side or the other here to go sit on the side of the highway with a sign saying I'm pro so-and-so or I'm pro so-and-so. So it's kind of interesting. I try and stay real neutral when it comes to either side. So it's very interesting though where we're at, because this is the largest congestion and where we see people come through all the time. So I mean, you have to hit this area in order to come through town before you go downtown. So
yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I grew, that's the way of a lot of places. I've been watching a lot of the political stuff because we're right in the middle of election time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting how COVID has changed everything, and or the whatever they call it now, C19, whatever it is, C20. whatever they call it. It's just interesting how life has changed due to it. Life has really made it. I mean, I don't remember ever wanting to be outside and do chores ever in my life until this. I'm like, let me outside. Let me do something outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, just crazy.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
the election as it gets closer, people are getting tenser and tenser right now,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it's so
Tempers
interesting
are
because
shorter and shorter.
Mhm.
everyone has their message, and right now I think it's funny because a lot of people are afraid to kind of look at it, but a lot of people are simply getting triggered by simple things going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care who, like I tell everyone, because if I look at it and I'm like, I challenge somebody's opinion of what they say, it's like right away somebody says I'm from one side or the other. Like I have to be for the other side. And I'm like, dude, difference of opinion is what we're supposed to be based on as a country. Like our forefathers started because they didn't like what happened in Europe and they got out and they came over to America. And it's interesting finding out the divide in education even today. That people think this was started as a Christian-based country, and it was started as the first two religions were Quakers and Shakers originally.
And isn't that funny when you think
Yeah.
about it?
Yep.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
I tell people, if anything, the only thing I ask of anyone, go out and just vote. Whoever you want, go out and vote for them. Don't worry about what other people think. Stop getting upset about like other people's opinions. But dude, go out and vote. You shouldn't be telling people who you vote for or any of that because you don't want to offend people. I mean, where did that go where we had a class in our system where people just didn't go outwardly and be like, my candidate so much better than yours. Your candidate sucks.
Yeah, it's very polarizing right now. Absolutely, very polarizing. It's very interesting. And if you believe in if you vote for the other side, then supposedly there's something wrong with you. It's very interesting.
Yes.
Hey, there's Ken. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah,
it's been a tough go. It has been a tough go. I think that I just been doing a lot more. I'll tell you what I do a lot more of is meditation and really working on compassion, the compassion training, because people are a little nuts right now.
Yeah. Where's Vermin Supreme when we need him? You guys remember Vermin Supreme?
I do not.
He used to run every year with Nader and he used to wear the boot on his head.
Oh, right. Okay.
He looked like a wizard.
Yeah.
At least we could have some comedy on the stage. Not like
he was entertaining.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, I'm with Ken. Politics suck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it does. You just...
Hello.
It hurts people. Families are getting ripped apart over this divide we're seeing lately.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing that we keep running into, and that's the interesting bit that I recently, my family is very much, either the Republican or Democrat, and there isn't a middle ground to be discussed.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of sad because I love both. I love them all. I love my dad, who's very Democrat, and then Christy's very Republican. And there's not even a discussion. You can't have a discussion in the house. It's just weird. Like, what happened to the art of discussion? I don't know what happened to it. Got thrown out the window.
Yeah. Well, I love to challenge people's thoughts. And I think that's important as we come into Thanksgiving this year. I think we should all just stop talking politics.
Right. Well, I think even Gary said it. People suck sometimes. People do suck.
They do suck. They do suck. It's just, we've lost the ability to communicate and value different opinions.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've lost that.
And I don't remember it. I'll be honest with you, and I tell people this story. I think I told it last time. I used to have so many people come to my class because they were open-minded. And in the last year or two, my numbers dropped and people just stopped going because they felt like they couldn't be open-minded anymore. They were just very polarized and very interesting to me. I just thought, wow, why would that, why was the case? But then you see the way when you talk to people, don't be anti the other, or don't say you're voting or you're with thinking about the other group at all, or it's just interesting.
Right.
Things are changing so fast in the world today. I mean, like our kids are even experiencing things we've never experienced. And, it's like my daughter, I can't get her off the internet to save my life right now. She's always on the internet. That's the only thing she likes to do is be on her computer. And it's like, I can't get her to go play in the yard. I can't get her to she wouldn't understand if I gave her a stick and I said, here's a new toy for you. And she'd be like, what? Like, we used those as guns. I mean, we used them as all sorts of things back in the day. We beat each other with them,
We had imagination, right? Imagination used to exist where you were not given and fed everything that was, my son sits in front of a Fortnite and plays that all day long, and everything's given. There's no imagination required. You're just going to do these skill sets. Yeah, I remember playing sticks. We played Army Men. We played, it was like 007, A-Team, whatever it was.
Yep.
Good times.
I miss being Mr. T. No,
that's right.
I was thinking about going for him as Halloween this year, but he didn't have a beard, man. That sucks. Who's a bearded character we can go as for Halloween?
Yeah, he had a little. Didn't he have a beard? I thought he had a
little bit, just a goatee.
A little bit, but yeah.
He was the only one that had facial hair in their group, I think. No, was that true? Yeah,
no. What's his name had a beard or a mustache?
That's right.
One guy. There was one of them with a mustache that was always driving next to him because he was sitting in the passenger seat at all times.
Right.
So, and then you had, who was the other guy that was driving always driving? He had a mustache. It was like a federal agent at one point.
Yeah. I remember who you're talking about.
Murdoch was one of them.
Murdoch, yep.
Yep, Murdoch.
I think it is Murdoch.
He wasn't the crazy one. Was Murdoch the crazy one? Who was the one that was like always in the loony, who was always like just about ready to go crazy? Was that Murdoch?
I think it is.
Yeah. Interesting.
So who you guys going as for Halloween this year with the being we're bearded, we're limited to villains, man.
I know, and I somehow, and I think I've gotten out of this, but somehow Christy thought that we should be Mr. Potato Head family. And I was like, that doesn't go with a beard, but she was just going to go anyway. I was just going to be a bearded Mr. Potato Head.
There you go.
That's funny.
There you go. Hey,
well, I guess he did have a beard, didn't he? They had a beard you could put on him.
A mustache.
A mustache.
A mustache you could put on him, yeah.
Yeah, that was right. Now, this is a question. Did you guys grow up with a pipe, or did you guys have the anti-smoking Mr. Potato Head?
I have a pipe.
I had the pipe.
Yes, that's our era.
I didn't play with Mr. Potato Head, so
she played with Mr. Cucumber Head. There was a Mr. Cucumber Head. There really was.
On our fans only site later.
You never know what you're going to see on that site.
Scarecrow. I saw that scarecrow. That was awesome, Ken. I don't. Did you guys see Ken's picture of a scarecrow?
Yeah.
No.
He bought the costume for just a video. Oh, that's cool. But his scarecrows, they make such realistic costumes now. It's crazy. It's like that's. When we were kids, what was your guys' costumes? Was it the plastic like front, or it had like a plastic like you pull over thing, and then it had like a Casper the Friendly Ghost mask, but it was like just a plastic mask?
My mom was cheap. She made me a hobo every year and burned a cork so I had a fake beard. I remember the cork, she'd build it up a little bit with the burn on it so it looked like you actually had some curly hairs.
That's awesome.
Couple freckles.
What was your thing, James? What did you go as when you were a kid?
What I dressed up as, I think I went for, I think it was like a devil one time, a couple times actually. What else did I go as? Like a ghost, like a not like the ghost, like as me like the scream mask kind of thing, or I did scary monster kind of like mask or whatever. But I've done the actual mask or like actual kind of paint on like a scar, scars or bloody up my face, kind of like a burn kind of. I got into like a little bit of the special effects type stuff like years ago. So
Oh, that's cool.
Sober Chef was a hobo.
Was he?
That's what he said.
Awesome. That's what you got to be. Hobo life. It's all about the hobo life. Mandy, what
Yeah.
were you growing up? Were you a hobo? What were you?
You know, I
She was a
He's a hobo
princess.
now.
She's a
no. You know, I really don't remember a whole lot of what I went as a kid, but I remember those costumes you'd get in the box, and
right.
it had, you know, like the new Jason wears in the remake of it. You know, it comes in the box and it's that plastic little outfit
with a string in the with the elastic in the back,
with
so
that
it just
mask.
held your.
Yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't breathe worth a dang.
Right.
That was my entire childhood. Every costume I had up until I was a teenager. That's what we had, and then I decided that I was going to try to make my own by like I think one year I went as like a cowboy pirate. I just made this. I'm just like had a cowboy hat, and I have this pirate sword. I'm gonna go as a cowboy pirate. I was like 14. Give me some candy.
You looked very confused.
I was a very confused cowboy pirate. Which way should I go? Should I go cowboy? Should I go pirate? What do you think? I got a sword. Give me some candy. Yes. Arr, matey. You should go onto the range and
it's funny.
Ride a horse.
Because you know how many pirates rode horses off their boat, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And yelled yippee-ki-yay with a cowboy hat on.
What is it? Your name would have to be like Captain Wyatt.
Captain Wyatt.
I don't know. Captain Wyatt.
I had a friend that decided that he was just going to get a thing and say, I hate Halloween, and just go as a Halloween protester. They're like, we don't want to give you guys candy. You have a guy who's sitting here saying he hates Halloween. He's like, give him some candy. We just want some candy, please. Did you guys do the mall? Did you guys do mall, or did you guys ever have the opportunity to just do like, hey, my mom just brought us to the mall, and then we got to get candy from the mall stores?
Nope, we went all through
we did that a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a neighbor. I grew up doing the neighborhoods, and then like when I was about 16, we moved in next to a mall in Phoenix, and so we were at Paradise Valley Mall. If Gary's still hanging around, or Twitch, we hung around Paradise Valley Mall and just went to each store, and they gave us some candy. And we were like, at the end of it, we were just like, this was really lame. There's not really much walking around this, you know. There's just like, hey. The lights are all on. There's no outside.
We were smart as kids. We get our pillowcases, man, and fill up our pillowcase in the whole neighborhood, and then we go back to the house to fill up for a second round, because you go back to the houses after everyone went, and if they had candy left, they'd fill their whole thing into your bag. We would. And then mom would take it to this place to have it x-rayed. I remember that back in the day at the church.
I totally remember that. Yeah.
She'd be like, they're hiding razor blades and stuff in here. And she'd tell me they're like, they could put drugs in it. And I'm like, man, I'm 40 years old. Ain't nobody giving me any free drugs. They lied to me my whole time. They're like, here, have some stool softener. This is free.
There's always those people that gave like a toothbrush or an apple.
They got revenge the next day.
God, you gave us an apple. Thanks. Yeah, my mom's never gonna let me eat this ever because of the razor blade story from like the 70s. Thank you, guy from the 70s.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, because now nobody ever had that happen. Like nobody you knew ever heard of that until only your mom heard it. It was a myth. That's exactly it. There was no real razor blades ever found in any apples ever.
If I owned an X-ray machine company, I would have started that myth too. Think about it, man. That guy made tons of money. He's like, I'm selling these small X-ray machines to all these churches, and they could do Halloween trick-or-treat candy. We'd have been rich, man. Why don't we get on board that?
Exactly. Do you guys remember Trunk or Treat?
Yeah. Yes. Some places still do it.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun, right? Where did Jeff disappear
He's
on
right
me?
there.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, those were fun times. Now I've done trunk or treat with the kids. So in Maricopa, they just did you just went to a park and people did the trunk or treat thing. It was okay. Yeah. I don't know if I enjoyed going house to house. Now this year, what are they doing with you guys for Halloween? Is there are they not, because most places aren't allowing you to go do the door-to-door stuff.
They're not sure what we're doing this year, honestly, man. It's being played by ear right now.
Right.
There's a haunted house in town. That's what I'm planning on getting Mandy. You guys are gonna watch her live wet her pants.
Oh no. Nice try.
That's right. She wears.
I would pay to watch
undergarments.
that just to see her just going screaming. The guy looks so real. He looked like some...
Mandy's
It
been
will not
testing out her
happen.
Depends thongs.
Yeah, it will not happen. It will not happen.
She's like,
You
I
will
had
not
13
go to-
beers
you're
and
not-
I ain't been in the bathroom once.
No, I'll go, but no,
You're
I'm so desensitized to that.
That's what I was
It does not
wondering.
scare me anymore.
You're like-
My mom used to take us to them. So, I mean, come on, I was cutting my teeth on Halloween, my stepsister and I used to watch that every year. And yeah, so
There's one I know that would scare you.
doubtful.
That manor one that the guy actually, you have to sign away your rights and he can torture you in any way, shape, or form and actually do things wrong to you, smack you, hit you, anything, and then you have to you get paid if you survive and get away through the whole thing, but nobody ever has.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I really would, because they dig into your background, and so they base it off whatever fears you have. I would so love to do that. I really would.
Mandy'd walk into a room full of balloons.
I like balloons.
We know.
Balloons is her thing.
Right, but I would do my best to stick it out, because it's a pretty decent amount that they give you if you make it. So,
I'd like to see you make it since nobody else has.
I would love to do it. I really would.
I wonder how much it is. Maybe we get this go live one day.
Right? It's
I like challenges.
Right. Hold on. Let's look it up. What was the name of it again?
Something Manor. I can't think of the name of it. Haunted House Manor.
Haunted House Manor.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's McCamey Manor.
Is that in Chattanooga?
McCamey Manor is considered to pioneer the notion of extreme haunts. It's founded in San Diego by resident Russ McCamey and was originally located on
Summertown. It's in
Tennessee now.
Yeah.
He moved from San Diego out here because he was getting problems with kidnappings and stuff. People were reporting kidnappings because of the stuff he was doing.
Oh,
wow. Oh, hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
What are you doing this year, James? Are you doing any adult party things?
I think I have to work on Halloween. Halloween falls on a Saturday, so I kind of have to work. So
I don't think we're doing anything. I think that we usually do it with Van. And this year, Van's with his parents or with his dad. So we're just kind of... And Caden's 11, so he's almost I don't really want to do the walking around thing again.
Well, you got to cut up pumpkins at least and tell ghost stories and stuff.
We'll do that. So we already did the fall decoration or the Halloween decorations. We have one of those blow up pumpkin things with the motor in it.
Nice.
So we have one of those. We have some pumpkins. The problem with Arizona, and I don't know if you guys, I haven't lived in another state in a long time. It's been 20 plus years since I've lived in another state. But here in Arizona, if you buy a pumpkin this week, for instance, and you carve him up, he will be molded by 3 days from now. Like mold covered, gross, can't do anything with it. I don't know if do you guys have that there or?
Well, you have to soak them in bleach water, man, is what you got to do. So it kills the mold that's already inside the pumpkin itself. Once you open it, it exposes what's already kind of coming out of the ground that's in there, or what's in the air that gets into it. And the bleach is able to kill it and allow them to live for a few days longer. You usually get about a week or two out of them that way.
That's a great idea.
Also, if you're using it for a party the next day, putting it into the refrigerator overnight, man, will prolong it so that it doesn't start to droop at all. So
that's a good idea. There we go.
Nice.
What's your? Do you do the pumpkin carving, James, where you like do the intricate pumpkins, where it's like you're just slicing little pieces off, kind of like I almost call it like ice carving, but you're doing it with a pumpkin?
Yeah, I've never done that. I've just done like the designs and stuff. But I mean, I've watched like the little cooking shows or whatever where they do like the pumpkin carving contest, where they get like the massive giant pumpkins, like then they're like carving the hell out of them. Those, I've just done like the regular like carving. I haven't done like extreme stuff.
Yeah, I used to have a chef at the restaurant that I was working at for years. He would do one of those huge pumpkins and then do the like making a carriage in the middle of it, or some like the headless horseman scene. He'd make a whole scene. Totally cool. I mean, it's amazing. It's like those sand carvings and just total patience and hours of knowing and planning it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, so if you survive that haunted house, he'll give you $20,000. But if you cuss, he's gonna knock you for $500.
Oh, so
probably should
Mandy
duct tape my mouth if I'm going through it.
I was just saying, Mandy probably should not go through that.
I'd end up owing him money at the end.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like
every third word of my mouth is usually a cuss word.
Right. Oh man,
where is that at?
It's in Somerton or Somerton, Tennessee.
Somerton,
Lawrence
Tennessee.
County. Yeah. But you have to go through a physical exam, a background check, a drug test, and then there's that 40-page waiver. But it's all of these like tests are designed to pick out the people that are easily manipulated. So
so then they'll pick you, but you won't ever win because you're the easily manipulated person. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, in something like that, I know it's not real, so it's gonna be hard. Like
when they're pulling your fingernails out, it's real.
Oh geez.
He clearly states he does not torture people.
Oh, I've seen some of it though. What is it? Dark Tourist. Watch the episode on Dark Tourist. He's basically
just playing mind games with you. If he can hypnotize you and get you to believe that whatever he's telling you is happening, you're done for. You're done for.
He's waterboarding people.
That is not true.
Dark Tourist, watch it. I'm telling you, it's on Netflix. Check out Dark Tourist, the episode about it. He waterboards. He has permission to do anything he wants to you. So he's like got towels over this woman's head and he's pouring water on the towel, and of course he'll lift it so she can breathe once in a while, but he does some stuff until you tap out. Like there's a word you got to say and you're out, and it's usually within the first couple hours.
Yeah, it's designed to push people to their breaking point. What's it going to take? Well, I don't know.
I can do that.
Right. Like I'm not like saying I could for sure make it, but I would die trying. Maybe not die, but
maybe die.
Right. Maybe not die, but I would give it everything I got because it's
$20K.
It's all mine. It's all a mind game. He was a Navy SEAL for like over 20 years. So
I think we should bring James.
I'm pretty sure he knows how to fuck with you.
James, would you win this? I think James does not look like he could easily be scared.
I can't. I can't. Especially if something like that. I think I can.
You think you could, or you could not? You'd be just like, nah.
I don't think you could do that. No, probably not.
No.
I probably would think too, but I think probably after the first, not long, I would probably fail.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's crazy.
I'd be
Well,
down
guys,
to give it
it's-
a try, like no lie.
There we go. See, Mandy is the adventurous one. You and Captain are probably the adventurous ones. You guys would probably. Would you last Ken? Would you be able to do it?
I don't scare easy. I grew up with parents that work in horror special effects. My dad's a sculptor, and he used to do movie props, and so I kind of know how a lot of it's done, and it's very hard to scare me. I'm down to the point where, like, I was telling Mandy, I've got a photogenic memory, so as soon as I see something, I'm automatically kind of breaking it down. Okay, I see a chainsaw now. Is there something moving on it? Is this fake? Is this real? Can it touch me? How close can they get to me? Can I move away? It's like automatic.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's kind of like how I am. Like, I know it's not real, but when it's somebody trying to portray something, you're like, okay, like you go through this list, like, you know, can it hurt me? Like Ken said, you know, like how close is it going to get? And
someone's getting an ass whooping probably if they come at me.
Right. Well, you know, in Cincinnati, they have that haunted schoolhouse called the Dent Schoolhouse. So, right. Well, like, my friends, they were like, come on, let's go. I know that this is going to scare you. And I was like, okay, whatever. Well, it turns out like one of the people I was with has this horrific fear of clowns. And like the whole basement of it was nothing but clowns hanging from the ceiling and just everywhere. And he got lucky though. Some big old chested woman was there, and he was about to faint, and she grabbed him and smashed his face into her chest, and he was good the rest of the night.
Sound like heaven.
Right. For him, it was. But yeah, I was not
and I'm going to heaven.
Right. I was not scared in the least, and then I took my daughter to the USS Nightmare, and her and our friend Jen was with us, and they were like in tears. I was just like, I don't understand why you guys are scared. Like, it's not real. It's not real.
So one time I was probably 11 or 12, and I went with my sister to the base. So we were on an Air Force base, and they had a gym that they kind of turned into the haunted place. We waited. We got to the door, and it was like an hour wait. So we just sat there. We waited an hour for them to do their thing. They were taking a break. We got in there. 5 minutes. My sister's like, I gotta leave. We started crying and bawling, and we had to go out the chicken exit. Waited like almost an hour and a half to go out the chicken exit. I'm just like, they're all like, yeah, they're scared. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so embarrassed right now.
I remember when I was 5 or 6, and it was like my grandma's neighborhood that we lived in. And I was probably 5 or 6 years old, but every year this guy would dress up as Freddy Krueger. And it would be like the house like all the way at the end of the block. And you could see it from where we were. But like he would have like the flashing lights, and like he would literally like ran after you. Like he would like run after you. And like I remember as a kid going there and I would see it, I would be scared as hell to go that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I remember because I was all into the Nightmare on Elm Streets and all that stuff back then. But even as a kid, like that little, I always remember looking and I see the flashing lights, and I'd just be so scared to walk down there.
Funny.
Guys, I gotta go. I got a jet. Yeah, I got a jet, guys. Thanks for joining on last minute notice, guys. I totally appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yeah, you guys are good friends. I totally appreciate it. I was like, I get this text like 20 minutes, and John's like, my internet went down, and I'm like, okay. So I mean, me and James could hang out, but I'm like, let's get some friends. Let's get some people in and that just hang out with us. So I really appreciate you guys doing last minute. We'll have to do this again for sure. Yes. I believe next week we have Copper Johns. and that'll be cool. I like Copper Johns. I don't know if James, if you tried their products, or Ken, have you tried out their products?
Not yet.
Yeah, he does the inland sea minerals, or inland whatever that is. I'm intrigued. It's intriguing. It's very interesting. I've seen a lot of write-ups on it, but the dude's actually a really super nice guy. So I like cool owners. So we'll have him on, and then at the end of the month, and I will probably have you guys on for the end of the month, Mandy and Captain, because we are doing a huge charity thing for Down syndrome, and so Joe and his daughter are coming on. I couldn't get Van because of just parenting things. Not me parenting, but my kids parenting. They don't want Van on a live stream, but Joe's daughter has Downs, and she's awesome. So we're just going to do an auction. So you guys are good friends. You guys are welcome to come on. Me and James will hanging out with those guys. So it'll be fun times.
Cool.
We'll have to let you guys know about it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And we're going to be auctioning wonderful products of everybody that we can get possibly to donate to the charity. And the charity goes to Down Syndrome Arizona, which is a charity group that we're part of because my grandson has Down syndrome. So we helped raise him. Yeah, we helped raise him until he was 7, until my kids grew up a little bit, could get jobs. And so now they're kind of taking over. We still, we're very much part of Van's life, So yeah, it's a dear charity that really helped us kind of understand what Down syndrome was, because our first initial reaction to it was like, what are we in for? And they really kind of helped us along. So, and they help people with, Van had to have a heart surgery when he was little, an open heart surgery, because a lot of Downs kids have holes in their hearts. So he got a open heart surgery. They have so many little things that are nuances that that 13th chromosome gives them, and making people aware of the amazingness of these kids is going to be cool. So that's what we're doing. And then we got the 22nd. I can't remember what I'm doing on the 22nd yet. So we got still a lot of fun stuff coming ahead. So thanks for coming on in, guys. Any last words, James?
No, I'm good.
And we'll see you guys next week with some more wonderful food. Anything last going on with you, Ken?
I just want to say rock on. I hope everyone enjoys this week. Mandy and I will be with the Bearded Villains for the Down Syndrome Walk in Knoxville, Tennessee on November 1st. If anybody's in the area and wants to get together with us, we'll probably pop in and try and do something live from our site, or even maybe if you're doing something.
That'd be cool.
I want to say rock on this week. Y'all kill it, man. Have some fun and hit us up.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff. Good products.
Eric's wanting to know what date it was again.
It is Tomahawk. The 29th. So ours is going to be the 29th.
29th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
Thursday.
Eric, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is very cool. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I appreciate. Yeah, that's really cool. Mandy, what's going on in your world? You have so much. You're so busy.
What's not going on in my world?
You're the busiest woman I know. Anytime I talk to her, she's driving family members or doing something really awesome for her family, working on her company, working on her website, doing some stuff with Captain. Love it. What's going on for you though? Anything big?
No, actually, the rest of the week, and like I am like half afraid to say, is pretty calm. But my other half there will come up with something. I know he'll text me later and be like, "Hey," I'll be like, "Okay, well, I guess I'm doing that." So
usually is about 1 a.m. where I'm drawing something. I'm like, Mandy, I got a new product idea. Let's do this. Find it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that's not necessarily so. Like Ken and I are working on something for the Wild Hearts Rescue that we talked about last time.
Oh, cool.
So that's like really our next, I guess, biggest project. so that's going to be taking some time. And that's like my fangirl thing.
Yeah, that's
she
awesome.
I mean, you know, I love horses, and she does it, and I was just like, yes.
I thought you were trying to say that, you know, you're a fangirl of mine, Mandy.
She might be that too. She might be that too.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I gotta have a fan club somewhere.
Right.
Somebody's my fan. Somebody's my fan somewhere.
Right. I'm always a fan of yours, Captain. Always.
At least somebody is.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know. I think maybe Jessica is.
There's got to be a hate club out there somewhere for me too. I hope so.
Oh yeah.
Ask any ex.
Yeah.
Yes, all my exes, they're all hanging out together somewhere.
Right.
In that
right.
chat room.
Probably with mine, and they're all like, "We hate those bastards," and we're like, "We got a fan club."
Yeah,
right. We got a fan club.
I just imagine all my exes sitting in a room with mirrors around them, like, I look so good, don't I? You know, I date a lot of narcissists.
Oh, you know what's so funny is you can go out into the dating pool and you can find the same person time after time. I have
It's a
found
very
that
shallow
to be my
pool
life.
the older you get.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
it is. And I
Full of
keep telling him
syringes.
that. I keep telling him it doesn't get better as we get older. The pickings get slimmer.
It just gets dirtier. I mean, there's more syringes in the water these days, and I just keep poking myself. It's like, oops. Everybody's got scars. It's like they've been hit with hammers for the last 15 years, you know?
Yeah, they got more baggage every time, every relationship, some new baggage to deal with.
Yeah. You see this cargo container behind me? That's all the shit you're going to have to deal with. Fuck. I'm at the age now where it's like, I'm in my 40s and I'm like, dude, are we doing this or not? Like, I can care less. Like 2 weeks in, it's like, oh, you moved in.
Oh, did that happen?
Okay, hi.
Where did you come from?
Yeah, she came with her toothbrush and everything she owned.
You know what? My stepbrother, that actually happened to him. Like, no lie. During like when this whole quarantine thing started, she lives alone, and she was like, oh, I'm afraid to be by myself. And he was like, sure, like you can come hang out, like no problem. Well, like a couple weeks into it, you know, like she shows up with a truck full of her furniture, and he was like, no, there's a storage facility, you can go put it there, but you ain't moving in here. I was like, oh my God, of course that would happen to you.
Oh no,
yes. Recently I was talking to a girl and I was like just roaming through the aisles of the grocery store, Walmart to be exact. I don't know why I go there all the time. I'm looking for beards, that's it. And
sure.
I was just like, she's like asking me a question. I'm like, I do. She's like, you want to marry me? I didn't say yes, but you know, it's kind of weird. Everyone's like automatic, like we're getting married and stuff so quick these days.
The women of Walmart.
That's why I don't date. I ain't got time for it. The bullshit people want to play. I'm like, aren't we too old for this? Like, we're in our 40s now. Like, we're kind of past
Mandy,
this.
you're much older than I am.
A year. A year.
Was it in the ramen noodle section?
Yeah, well, your ramen nudes are very old.
They are. You're buying them though.
I ain't buying them. I'm giving them away.
Yeah. I can't give them
There's
away.
A whole website.
Start charging people for them. You didn't buy my nudes, so you know
I've tried to sell your nudes. I got shut down and reported.
They like them.
Okay, guys, I am out of here. I'm getting those texts of when are you leaving to go get some food and TP. So apparently people are having a run on the bathrooms here, so gotta go.
It's a shitastrophe.
It is.
It is a shitastrophe.
So
That
we'll
is
talk to you
so
guys
funny.
later next week. We have some
Yes.
awesome guests on. We might even see these folks again. You never know.
You never
If
know
you
where
open
we're going to
your
pop up.
eyes.
They'll pop up all over the place. You never know. They could pop into somebody's Instagram live feed. You never know. So just keep looking for them. They're still cooking some stuff.
And I don't want to hear, why are you in my house either when we pop up. Don't worry about how we got there.
I'm just
no,
eating
we're-
your food.
Right.
Yeah.
Just level on the fact that we're there.
Yes.
That's
We're
right.
hard to get rid of.
That's right.
We'll talk to you guys later. And everybody, thanks for hanging out with us for a bit. We appreciate it.
Joe.
Be good.